Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Himanshu from Salesforce Makes Sense, and we are understanding Apex development by practicing some use cases, right? So this is use case number 10, and it says write a method to identify if a plant is an indoor or an outdoor plant, right? So it kind of depends on how you want to achieve this particular method, whether you want to show it by using a map, whether you want to show it by storing it somewhere. Let's try it one of the ways and let's see how you do it. Okay, if you're confident enough to do it on your own, go ahead, pause the video here and try it on your own, or else people who are following along, let's look into this use case. Okay, so we need to write a method that identifies whether a plant is indoor or outdoor, right? So I am assuming that the method would accept the plant name, right? And our method would return the response whether it is indoor or outdoor, correct? So if I were to go to VS Code first of all, and let's create our Apex use case 10, okay? I'll just get rid of my constructor, not needed, and I'll simply put a method here, public static. The return type should be string. Why? Because I'll return either indoor or outdoor, correct? So I'll say check plant type. That's my method name, and I'll simply say return. I'll put an empty string for now. The static typo is there. I'll say check plant type, and I'll expect the method to get one parameter, and that's basically the plant name. Okay. All right. And here I'll put string plant type. This is my string, right? And I'll return the plant type value. So my template or my boilerplate code has been written. The stub is ready. I need to actually fill it with the actual code now. Okay, so one way to do it is like, if plant name equal to this particular value, or else if this name is the value, then then put indoor or put outdoor. Another way is to write, switch case, right? Switch on the name, right? And then I can return a value. But there's one more way to do this by storing our metadata information about the plant somewhere in the system and then leveraging it. Okay, and that's where custom metadata comes in. So what you can do is you go to Salesforce and you go to setup, and you go and type metadata here, right? So you get something called custom metadata types. All right. So we'll create a custom metadata, and this custom metadata is more like a master data kind of a thing. Okay. You'll be able to store information that you want to leverage in your code or anywhere. Okay. So you can actually store your own data here. What I'll do, I'll create a new custom metadata type. And this is very much similar to how you create an object in Salesforce. Okay, so I'll say plant information master. Okay, and the plural would be plant information masters. Does not start with a vowel sound. I'll let all the Apex code be able to access this particular type. Okay, I'll say save. All right, so my metadata is created and it has a label and it has a name, meaning it has a master label and it has a developer name. All right, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and say manage plant information masters. And when you go to manage, you get to create the records here. So what will I do? I'll simply go ahead and say new, and I'll put Areca palm, and I'll put the value as indoor, right? I'll put save. That's my first metadata record about a plant. Okay, I'll put ZZ plant, I'll put indoor, save. Right? So it says duplicate name already exists for custom metadata type. Okay, let's go back and say click here to return to previous. I'll say clone. Okay, my bad. The master name is basically the API name. So we cannot have the same value in the API name. What we can do is we can switch our values. We can put indoor or outdoor in the label, and we can put the API name as the name of the plant. Okay, or else if you don't want to mess it up using the standard ones, we can also go ahead and create a custom field for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a custom field to avoid any confusion. Let's delete this record. Let's say okay. Why did it throw an error? Because I'm trying to put indoor and outdoor as the value in the API name, but the API name always has to be unique, right? So if I go to plant information master custom object, this developer name has to be unique. It cannot be same. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new custom field here just by this section, and I'll say it should be a pick list. Okay, it will either be indoor or it will be outdoor. So I'll create a pick list. I'll not create a text. Okay, I'll say plant type. All right, what are the two values? It would be indoor and outdoor, just two values. All right, and I'll just say next, save. So now I have the master label, the developer name, and I have the custom field. Now I can go ahead and create my records. Okay, I'll say new, I'll say Areka Palm. So I'll not basically touch the API name, the developer name. I'll let it auto populate. Okay, and then this is indoor. Save and new, ZZ, ZZ plant, indoor. Okay, rubber plant, indoor. What else? Tulsi, we can say outdoor, right? What else? Mint, it can be considered as outdoor, right? So we have about 3 or 4 names. Let's go ahead and just say cancel here and see that we have our metadata. Basically, we have our master data on the records, and there are some indoor plants there and there are some outdoor plants here. All right, what we want to do is the system will accept the name of the plant, like for example, rubber plant. And what it will do is it will take a look at this particular metadata and it will find that particular record. If it finds it by the name, it will return what is a plant type. Meaning, if you go ahead and try to put rubber plant, it will try to look at what is the plant type value, and that is what will be returned to the method as output. Make sense? Great. So we have some plant names here. Let's go ahead and write some code now. Right now, I have to just understand what I have to do first, right? Before jumping into writing code. So if I put a comment here, I'll say fetch all metadata records so that I have all the plant names available in the system. That's my first step. My second step is iterate over the plant names from this metadata and check if the input plant is in the metadata or not. Meaning this plant name value might be anything, right? It might be a name that exists in the metadata, or it might be a name that does not exist in the metadata, right? So if it does not exist, return blank, not found, correct? But if you find a mapping in the metadata, retrieve the plant type from the metadata for that particular plant mentioned and return it as output. This is all that we have to do as part of our code. I hope that makes sense when written in English. We'll see how to write it to make Salesforce understand the same thing. But the English version is clear, right? Awesome. So if you're someone who knows how to retrieve metadata and how to do this bit, pause the video here and try to do it on your own and then see how I do it. And for those of you following along, let's go ahead. So first I need to retrieve all my metadata records. So I for sure know that there will not be one record. So I'll need a collection variable, correct? So I'll create a list variable. I'll say plant records equals new list, and now I need the collection type, like what is the name of the metadata, correct? So I'll go back to my metadata type and I'll pick up the API name of my metadata. So plant information master. Here is the API name. What is the difference between custom objects and custom metadata? This you will understand it by the underscore underscore MDT. So wherever you see the MDT is appended at the end, that's a custom metadata. And if you see underscore underscore C, that's a custom object. As straightforward as that. Okay, so I'll copy this API name and I'll say I need to create a list of this particular metadata. All right, and I can simply get rid of the instantiation and I can do a SOQL query here and I can say select ID, comma, what are the fields? If I go to the fields ID, comma, master label, comma, plant type, from this particular object. And I want to fetch all the records, correct? So I'll fetch all my records, right? Now what I'll do, I'll say for each plant information master metadata plant rec in plant records, correct? This is our plain normal loop that we do, right? Plant records. I'll say if plant rec dot plant type is equal to the plant name that has come as part of the input here. Make sense? The plant rec is the current iterated record, the current item in the loop. Dot plant type is this value, which is indoor or outdoor. That's coming from the metadata. If, sorry, it should not be the plant type, it should be the master label, right? Because you will be giving the name of the plant, not the indoor outdoor thing. So what will this contain? This will contain, let's say, Tulsi. Correct? So this will contain all the 5 records, and then you are iterating over each record. So now plant rec dot master label, if the master label is equal to Tulsi, only then it will go ahead and return the plant rec dot plant type, because it's a match. So I need whatever is the plant type of that particular plant and just return it to me. If it is not able to find it for any one of them, it will just go out and return here, and that would be an empty string. Make sense? All right, so let's try to deploy it first of all. And let's see if there's any error or not. So it gets deployed fine. We'll go to Salesforce, we'll go to developer console, we'll refresh our pages, and we'll search for Apex use case 10 this time, right? I'll say Apex use case 10, and I have my method and my class here. Let's get rid of this first line and let's say system.debug Apex use case 10 dot check plant type, and I'll put a plant name here. Okay, so let's take a look at my plant names. I'll just put mint here. Okay, so I'll put mint. I'll say execute. Let's see what does it return. Debug only, and mint is an outdoor plant, so it's returning perfectly fine, right? If I try something for, like, let's say not mint, right, let's say coriander, that does not exist, and I try to execute, it should return me an empty string, right? Nothing, neither indoor or outdoor. Okay, I can also like put something like, but the default value would be not specified. Okay, it will make a bit more sense. Now it will not be an empty string, but you'll get not specified as the value. All right, you understood what we are trying to do here, right? And you understood how we do it. But that's one way of doing it, using custom metadata and using this code. Let's try to refine our code to understand how we could have done it better, right? So instead of looping all our records, instead of querying all our records, what if I put a where condition here? Right? What if I put a where condition here saying where the master label, where the master label is equal to the plant name, right? If I were to do this, where the master label is equal to plant name, I'll automatically be able to find whether a record exists or not. If it does, return the plant type, or if it does not, don't return. I don't have to put a loop here. Does that make sense? So I don't have to put a loop here. Correct? Let me get rid of the English statements here, and let's say this is plant type is equal to not specified by default. And now I'm doing a query by saying that get me the plant information master metadata record where the master label is equal to the plant name that the person has given as input. As simple as that. Okay, so, and ideally this should only return one record. Okay, it should be unique. Let's assume that. So I'll simply say if plant records dot size is equal to 1. Does that mean that I found a record? Yes, it means I found a record. So I'll simply say return plant records of 0 dot plant type. Why can I put a 0th index here and I'll not get a null pointer exception? Because it is only going inside when the size is equal to 1, or else it will not go inside. So we are safe here. Okay, we don't need to worry. We are putting that checks in place. Okay, and if it is not true, it will simply return the not specified value. Okay, let's try to deploy this and test it out. So we have avoided the loop here by putting a where clause. So this has been deployed. Let's go back to Salesforce, refresh our Apex use case 10. Yeah, Apex use case 10, and let's try to execute it again. This time it will be Apex use case 10 dot check plan type, and let's say I want to check for Tulsi. Execute. So it executed fine and it says outdoor. So it's working as expected, right? The only assumption is that there should be only one mapping, so that has to be maintained on the metadata level. Okay, you cannot have multiple mappings with the same name. Even if you do, you should ensure that both the mappings have the right plant type on it. Then it will give you the right answer. Okay, that's why I put the limit one here. That's why I put a where clause here, and I simply use the if condition to check the size. If I found a match, I'm returning that value. Okay, awesome. That was use case number 10, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.